You know how carnivals are supposed to be the happiest place in town? The rides, the lights, the music, the smell of cotton candy and popcorn everywhere. It's like a break from reality. But in one small town in Ohio, the carnival became the scene of something so disturbing that people still refuse to talk about it openly. They call it the night the carnival died. And at the center of it all was a hitman. It started in July during the town's yearly carnival. Families were out. Kids ran around with glow sticks. Teenagers screamed on the roller coasters, and old couples just enjoyed funnel cakes under the string lights. Nobody knew that among the crowd was a man who wasn't there for fun, food, or family. He was there for one reason: to kill. His name was later revealed as Raymond Cole. On paper, he was just another man in a leather jacket and baseball cap. Nothing too suspicious. But behind that plain appearance, he was a hired gun with a history of clean kills. No one really knew who hired him that night, but investigators later said he had been tracking one specific target for weeks. The disturbing part? His target wasn't some mob boss or criminal. It was just a regular man, a father of two, a local shop owner named Daniel Whitmore. Daniel had no idea someone wanted him dead. He was at the carnival with his wife and kids, standing in line for the Ferris wheel. Witnesses later said he was laughing, holding his little girl on his shoulders. That's when Raymond, the hitman, moved in. The horrifying thing is how ordinary it looked at first. He just stood behind the family, blending into the crowd. Then, as the line shuffled forward, he pulled something from inside his jacket. At first, people thought it was just a phone or maybe his wallet. But when the metallic shine caught the carnival lights, a few realized it was a gun. The first shot was deafening, so loud that screams mixed with the carnival music in the most surreal way. Daniel fell instantly, blood pooling on the pavement, while his daughter tumbled off his shoulders. People scattered, screaming, kids crying, rides grinding to a stop. Some thought it was fireworks until the second shot rang out. That's when chaos broke loose. Raymond didn't run immediately. Witnesses said he looked calm, almost cold, as if this wasn't murder, it was just business. He turned, his eyes scanning the crowd like he was daring anyone to come closer. Then, without hesitation, he vanished into the sea of terrified people. The emotional scar this left on the town was unbearable. Imagine kids who thought they were going to ride the Ferris wheel, but instead watched a father get killed in front of them. Imagine Daniel's wife holding her screaming children while her husband lay lifeless on the ground. Police and paramedics rushed in, but it was too late. Daniel was gone before they even reached him. The investigation after was one of the biggest the town had ever seen. At first, nobody could understand why Daniel was targeted. He wasn't rich, he wasn't in trouble with the law, and he wasn't connected to anything shady. But slowly, dark secrets started to leak out. Turns out, Daniel had testified in court years before against a local gang member. He was just a witness who happened to see a crime near his shop. He thought it was over after that trial. But the man he testified against never forgot. From prison, that gang member managed to hire someone who could do the job. That someone was Raymond. The part that gives people chills is how carefully planned it all was. Raymond didn't just walk into that carnival randomly. Investigators found out he had visited the carnival 3 years in a row, just to study the layout, the crowds, and the blind spots where security was weakest. He had mapped everything out. To him, the carnival wasn't a place of fun, it was a hunting ground. Police eventually tracked Raymond down 2 weeks later in a rundown motel across state lines, but when they surrounded the place, they found him already dead. Gunshot wound to the head. No witnesses, no suspects. It looked like suicide, but many believe it wasn't. Some say the people who hired him wanted to erase every loose end. This is where the story gets even darker, because even though the hitman was gone, the carnival itself never recovered. Families stopped going. Vendors pulled out. The Ferris wheel, once the main attraction, was torn down because no one could look at it without remembering Daniel's death. The town tried to bring the carnival back, rebranding it, making it family-friendly again, but attendance dropped every single year. People whispered that the place was cursed, that the carnival had blood on its hands. And here's something almost nobody outside the town knows. Every year since that night, on the exact anniversary, people claim they see a man in a leather jacket standing near where Daniel was shot. He doesn't speak, doesn't move, just stands there watching. Some think it's just trauma playing tricks on their minds. Others swear it's the ghost of Raymond, stuck at the scene of his coldest job. But the creepiest theory? That it's not a ghost at all, but another hitman, sent to remind everyone that the job is never really finished. What makes this story so terrifying isn't just the murder itself. It's how fragile life really is. Daniel was just a regular dad taking his kids to the carnival. He wasn't out at night in a dangerous part of town. He wasn't looking for trouble. He was in the middle of a family event, surrounded by lights and laughter. And still death found him. The carnival used to be the place where memories were made, where kids begged their parents for just one more ride, where first dates happened under the glow of neon lights. But now for that town, the word carnival only means fear, silence, and grief. Parents still tell their kids about that night, warning them, fun can turn deadly in an instant. It's been over a decade since that hitman pulled the trigger, but ask anyone who lived through it, and they'll tell you the same thing. They don't remember the music, the rides, or the fireworks. They remember the sound of a gunshot cutting through laughter. They remember the screams, and they remember watching the happiest night of the year turn into the most haunting moment of their lives. The hitman at the annual carnival may be gone, but the story, the fear, the bloodstain on that pavement will never fade.